Well, this is going to be a little odd, but I want to be real with people. I want to be honest with people. And for anybody watching this, if you've watched any of the other videos, I would hope you know that my goal, my purpose of this channel is part video diary, vlog, part informational. I hope that something I say or something that I have done, if I can share my experience with you, hopefully that helps someone. Part creative, I posted some of my artwork and some of the stuff I've been doing in that arena. So, if it sparks a creativity buzz in you. But I just wanted to share. It's been yet another up and down day. Not a bad day. Not a great day. But just kind of a day. But I started to let myself become overwhelmed again tonight. A song was playing and it just kind of hit me, and I just very emotional, very upset, crying. But it just hit me what time it is. It's 8:15 now on Wednesday night. I have been sitting on my couch having a conversation with God and myself for almost an hour and a half now. It started as begging God to not let me focus on the negative, not let me focus on the things and people that I cannot control. It started as, please, I know you have a plan for my life. Please help guide me. Please show me what I need to do. But then it turned into real self-examination. I went through a very hard breakup in June of last year, so a little less, just over a year ago. It was very hard for me. I was in a very, very dark place for about a month. And then I started coming out of it, taking charge a little bit more. But it really made me stop and evaluate my choices, why I do the things that I do, when they started, how they started. And that's kind of what I did tonight. Begging for help, begging for guidance, begging for the ability to let go of things that I cannot control. That's been kind of the theme the last few of these videos that I've done. I very clearly have issues with control, with manipulation, with purposely using my words and actions to elicit a certain response from someone. And so I really had, in my conversation with God, I really started to think of when that started. And honestly, I think it started when I was about 18. I was dating this guy, and really, I think he was the first guy that I loved. Was head over heels for him, and then he broke up with me. I then proceeded to send him letters, text him. Well, we didn't have text back then, but sorry, I messed it up. We had pagers back then, if that tells you anything. So I would page him, the whole figure out what the words mean through the numbers thing. I remember writing him a letter saying, "Oh, I'm late. Oh, I'm late on my," and it wasn't a total lie, but it was a stretch. I was doing it intentionally to get him to respond to me. And he didn't. And I held this guy up on a pedestal for years. I mean, he wasn't a bad guy. He was a nice guy. We weren't together that long, not even a year. I don't remember. Not even a year. I know it wasn't that long. But like I said, I think he was I okay. I told my first boyfriend I loved him. I think I thought that I did, but I didn't. I think this guy was the first guy that I ever really loved. Or, let's be real, as much as an 18-year-old knows how to love, an 18-year-old version of love, I think he was the first one. And so it made me, I started it with him. I would write him letters, I would try and page him. I reached out to a friend of his, be like, oh, well, I have some of his stuff and I need to return it. Like borderline stalker shit. Like driving by his house, see if his car's out front. Like, I mean, okay, to be fair, I was 18, but still, that's where it started. I tried to manipulate him, tried to guilt trip him, tried to do basically whatever I could to elicit a response from him. Didn't work. Then my next boyfriend, I did it to him, and I did it to him a lot, and it worked with him. I knew what to say and how to say it to lay a massive guilt trip on him whenever we would have a fight or an argument. And I knew exactly what to say, how to act to get him to do what I wanted him to. And what it boiled down to is I wasn't getting the attention or affection that I thought I deserved. And so if he wasn't treating me the way I thought I should be treated, I would write letters and very manipulative, very manipulative. Looking back now, obviously I didn't realize it or I didn't want to realize it at the time. But looking back now, oh, I hate it when we fight. I always feel like I'm not worthy of you, like you shouldn't be with me, like I'm just not good enough. Like purposely laying it on thick about how awful I was and how bad I felt. And I know I hurt him and I'm just so worthless and blah, 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 blah. All to get him to tell me how great I was. It's not my fault. It was his fault. I was very manipulative. And that's kind of what I've been realizing and talking to myself and God about tonight. Is it started when I was 18, my boyfriend at the time, when he broke up with me, that's when it started. And I continued it with the next guy that I dated. And we were together for 2 years. Lived together. And then when we broke up, the next guy that I dated, it wasn't serious. I was 20. He was 34. But I tried to do it to him. He told me from the start, he was bluntly, completely honest. This is a fling. This is nothing serious. He was 14 years older than I was. He was completely honest for me to the start. But little 20-year-old me, when things ended, I wrote him this long letter of how much I cared about him. I'm sorry if I ever did anything to do this or to do that. And to his credit, he called me on it. He called me and he's like, well, I got a very, can't remember the word he used. Nasty, rude, shitty. He might have even said, I don't remember. I don't remember the word he used, but he called me on it. He's like, I've got a very fill in the blank letter from you. And I think I apologized. Yeah, I know I was in a bad place when I said that. No, I wasn't. I knew what I was doing. And then when I got married, I tried it with my husband. I did. He called me on it. He's like, that's a bunch of bullshit. Why would you say that? And he called me on it. And I didn't do it in that way anymore. The way I had done it with everybody else was, up in the middle of the night while they're sleeping, writing this heartfelt letter full of how horrible I am and how I don't deserve them, all designed to get them to tell me how wonderful and great I am. And no, why do you feel that way? All designed to build my ego, to get them to tell me what I wanted to hear because I wasn't getting enough attention. So, obviously, I know I have some control issues, but part of realizing that you have something that you need to work on is trying to figure out how and why it started, at least for me. It started when I was 18 with the guy I was dating at the time. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Was it because he broke up with me? Is it that egotistical that he dare break up with me and I had to do whatever I could to get him back? Is that when my insecurities and my self-esteem issues started? We all go through breakups. That's normal. I had broken up with guys before, but I had broken up with them. But so just trying to get to the root of it, for me, is what helps. So with him, I think the root of it is that he broke up with me and he did leave me for someone else. Well, I shouldn't say that. He did not break up with me saying I want to be with someone else. But within 2 weeks they were together. It was an ex-girlfriend that it was his toxic relationship, honestly. We had spoken about her before and how bad she treated him. Mutual friends, how bad she was for him. She would be there with him, spending the night with him, but go on a date with some other dude. She was his downfall. And so that's who he went back to after we broke up. And so I don't know if it's an ego thing. That's where my self-esteem and insecurity started. If it's just young and dumb, I wanted him and I was mad that he left. I don't know. So that's what I've been trying to go over with myself and just be real with myself. I have done this since I was 18 years old. And I need to stop it. There is a difference between being honest, being open, being vulnerable, not being afraid to be vulnerable with someone, and talking about your real, honest feelings. But when you do it in a way that is intentionally designed to lay a guilt trip on them, to make them feel bad for whatever I think they did wrong to me, that's manipulation and that's control. And I have done this since I was 18 years old. What the fuck? I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the bitch that tries to control and, oh, you're not paying enough attention to me. Here, pay attention to me. I want you in my life, so therefore you must be in my life. And I'm going to lay a guilt trip on you. I'm going to make you feel so bad and all of this shit just so that you'll be with me. Why would I want somebody that's with me out of guilt? It's just, this is the part about self-realization and really trying to own up and be aware of your flaws and where you need to work on yourself, that really sucks. I have set myself up to fail most of my adult life because of stupid shit like this. Like, I did it to my ex-husband. The letter thing didn't work with him, but I did it in other ways. Oh, I did it in other ways. Oh, well, you just must think I'm fat. Oh, well, I guess I just don't look good enough for you. Or, sorry if I hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to. You know, I still manipulated him. I still tried to control him and tried to make him do what I wanted. I didn't respect what he wanted or what he needed. I mean, we had a huge problem with communication anyway. It was not either one of our strong points, but I didn't help myself. I didn't help him. You know, trying to constantly manipulate and lay guilt trips so that you feed my ego and give me what I want, what I think I need. That's not helpful. And I've done it since my divorce. You know, the first guy that I dated after my divorce, kind of almost a buffer. We had just started dating, been seeing each other for about a month, you know, maybe 3-4 dates tops. And he was very sadly diagnosed with 2 autoimmune disorders. So a previously perfectly healthy guy, early 40s, you know, never a health problem in the world, suddenly has 2 autoimmune disorders that literally put him in the hospital and almost kill him. Yeah, his world was rocked. And he went back to Cleveland for months because that was where he was from, that was where he was getting treatment. But we were still together. And every time he would try to break up with me, and he'd be like, he did it and I did it both. Because he'd be like, oh, well, I'm just no good for you right now. I can't be a good boyfriend if I'm all the way up in Cleveland. So he was doing it. And then I did it right back. Oh, well, you must not respect me if you think that I'm just going to give up on somebody when, you know, bad stuff happens. We fed each other. Yeah, that's healthy. And so I did it to him. And I tried to do it to a certain extent in my last relationship. The last guy, he never paid attention to what I sent him, so no written word would be effective. But there were ways that I won't get too specific on because I know a lot of people know him and I don't want to call him out or anything like that. That's not fair to him. But there were things that I did that I knew would get under his skin and elicit a response. And they did, but he didn't respond to me. It was through a friend. But again, I'm still doing it. From 18 to 41, I'm still doing it. Why? Why? Am I afraid that I am not enough on my own? That I have to lay some kind of guilt trip or manipulate somebody into doing something that I want? Like, really? I don't want to be that person. So that is why I'm trying to share this with you guys. If you can, you know, suffer through all of my horrible picture quality, and, you know, I promise I'm looking into getting something better so that it's not this lovely selfie mode on my crappy camera. But I hope that at the very least, if the video is hard to watch, you can listen to my words. Learn from my mistakes, please, dear God. If that helps anyone, if you recognize this behavior within yourself or maybe others or whatever, please learn from my mistakes. Because math, 23 years of manipulating people, purposely toying with their emotions to get them to do what I want them to do, that's pretty shitty. I'm not proud of that. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to get something or someone by that means. Yes, the person that I'm with right now, I don't know where we stand. It's very up in the air. And for about a month now, I have been purposely sending messages that I know will elicit a response. Sometimes they are shocking. Sometimes they are sappy. And it's not that they're not true. I haven't said anything that's untrue. But I have purposely phrased them in a way that I know he's going to respond to me. I know I'm going to get a response. Whether it's the response I want or not, that remains to be seen, and it hasn't so far. All I've done is piss him off. And why would I want somebody that I could, for one, manipulate and control that easy? Why would I want somebody like that? And why would someone want me if that's the behavior that I'm exhibiting? You know, this person, we've had discussions about their ex and how controlling and manipulative their ex is. I have told this person time and time again, don't let your ex control you like that. Take control of your life. And then here I go and turn around and I'm doing the same damn thing. I'm trying to control him. I am trying to manipulate him because I'm not getting what I want. Well, that's a bunch of shit. And I don't want to be that person. So tonight has been very revealing for me. Not in a good way, because they're not traits about myself that I like. But it's a good thing that I am becoming more aware of them, because as I am aware, much more aware that I am doing this, I can stop it. I can stop myself from doing it. I can still be open and honest about what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. But I know exactly how I am phrasing things, how I am putting things out there to manipulate the response that I want. And I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the type of person that has to control every little aspect. I can't. The bottom line is I can't. And I'm just setting myself up to get hurt and be upset because I'm not getting the responses that I wanted because I tried to manipulate and control the situation. So that is what I have been talking to God about for quite literally the last hour and a half. I have called on God, every spirit guide, every guardian angel that I have, every single one of my family members that is up there looking down over me, watching out for me, begging them to help me recognize and stop this behavior. So that is my ask to you. If you see this type of behavior in yourself, stop it. Nobody wants that person. Nobody should want to be that person. Do I want the person that I love to turn to me for help, for comfort? Yes, 100%. 100%. I want this person in my life on a permanent basis. I can't control if that's what he wants or not. I can't control if that's what he's ready for or not right now. He's dealing with some major shit. Shit I have no control over. Shit he has no control over. Dealing with some major stuff right now. I don't want to be that bitch trying to manipulate him into, oh, woe is me, poor me, pay attention to me. No, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person. I see the patterns. I see them repeating. And it's time to put an end to it. I don't want to be that person. So I beg of you, if you see those patterns, those habits in yourself, start asking for help to stop it. Start recognizing it and stopping it. Because it's not serving you. It's not serving whoever you're trying to manipulate or control. Because in the end, it might work in the short term, but in the end, they're going to resent you for it. They're going to be mad at you and feel betrayed and hurt for it. It's not helping. It's really not. I did it for so long. I think when I first started doing it, I didn't completely realize what I was doing. I mean, I was young. I was stupid. I was 18, 19, 20 years old. I can't completely remember my thought process at the time. I knew enough to know what I was doing. I wanted him to respond to me. I knew that much. But I don't think at that age I realized how manipulative and controlling that was. I mean, it's taken me a long time to admit to my own faults. That's always, I think, our biggest challenge. We are so quick and easy to see the faults in other people. Oh, you need to work on this. Oh, you need to work on that. But how often are we really looking at ourselves and really examining the choices and the patterns in our own lives? And good patterns, bad choices, good choices. I've done some amazingly positive things for my life in the past 5 years. Yeah, 5 years now. I am not the same person that I was 5 years ago. I am not the same woe is me, nobody loves me, everybody hates me, I'm not worthy person that I was 5 years ago. Does that mean that I still don't have things I have to work on? Hell no. We should always be learning, always be growing, always trying to improve ourselves. That process should never stop throughout your lifetime. I am not a perfect person. I'm never going to be a perfect person. Does that mean I just sit back and, oh, whatever happens, happens. Oh, I can't control how I act, how I behave. I can't control that. That's just who I am. No, that's bullshit. And I hate that phrase. Oh, well, that's just how I am. No, that's how you choose to be. It's a choice. I don't choose to be this person. I don't want to be this person. So I am recognizing my poor choices in the past. And even though my technique has changed over the years, I'm still making some of those poor choices. And I don't want to anymore. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to subject people that I love to me being that person. I don't respect me for it. Why the hell is anybody else going to respect me for it? If I get what I want through laying guilt trips and manipulation and trying to be a little puppet master in there pulling the strings to get what I want, am I really going to feel good about getting it? Is it really going to be like, oh yeah, this was meant to be? No, it wasn't fucking meant to be. You manipulated it. You made it happen. You guilt tripped that person into believing whatever the hell it was you were saying, and you forced the issue. That's not meant to be. That's control. That's manipulation. And I don't want to be that person. So like I said, I've had an exceptionally long, wonderful talk with God where I have realized things that I need to work on. I have done this for years and I need to stop. It's not fair to me and it's not fair to the other person. So that is my plan of attack, is I recognize it now, ask everybody out there looking over me, helping me, please help me recognize this. Please help me stop it. Please don't let me get so overwhelmed with fear, with grief, with anger, with uncertainty that I resort to this, that I do this out of habit. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be that person. So I beg of you, please, it's hard as hell, but take the time to truly examine yourself and your own actions to stop the negative behavior. Everybody is continually growing and changing and evolving. And to do that, you have to take a real hard look inside yourself and change what you don't like. It's cliche, but the phrase, what you are not changing, you are choosing.